How you guys doing? This is your man Bogy. So as you can see, I am here flying solo, but definitely wanted to do this topic here that I'm very passionate about, and also it's the technology that we use here. Actually, I enjoy using. So again, you're watching here season 2, episode 32 of the CREW MACBOOK Hours. So as some of you might know, but now you will all know, I really enjoy the Apple products of laptops, which are the MacBook. And of course, there's the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro. I've always been using the MacBook Pro. They have the 14 inch, 15 inch, 16 inch. And it's just a technology of laptop that is just above all. PC, puts out, a lot of different companies puts out laptops, but they use the PC and the Windows version and the software. I was down that road a long time ago, but I just got tired of the continuous, viruses and pop-up windows, and then you got to buy a pop-up blocker so that all those windows and pop-up advertisements wouldn't pop up and pop up. I just got tired of it. Pop up. So and of course I've always heard MacBook Pro was always a great laptop for utilizing for editing, which is something that I really enjoy, video editing. But of course, one of the caveats of owning a MacBook Pro is that you pay what you get for, and you want quality, you better get ready to dish it over. So I've had quite a few MacBook Pros up until this last one that I have right now currently. And this one I actually purchased in 2015, brand new, and it still does its thing, But of course, technology continues. And just think about the cell phone that you had in 2015 and the cell phone you have now in 2022. You just can't compare it. There's always, even if it's just Android or you're using Apple phone, just the speed of it, the apps in it, just everything is just much smoother as the years go by. So at this point, I'm giving this laptop to my wife and my daughter, and I felt it was time after 7 years to upgrade to the MacBook. And this time, instead of getting a Pro, which there's a lot of changes, I'm getting the MacBook Air, which is kind of considered like the introduction to to the laptops for MacBook. So there's the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro. The MacBook Air comes in 13 inches, and then the MacBook Pro is 13 inches, 15 inches, 16 inches. And those are on the higher end of, if you get a MacBook Pro 16 inch with all the doohickeys, that can run you about $2,500. Now, this year, of course, every year there's a new MacBook Air or Pro that come out because they're always upgrading. There's always new changes. There's always faster chips and greater technologies that come along with each one each year. So this year, just recently, actually yesterday, they came out with the MacBook Air with the M2 chip. Now, previously to that was the M1 chip. Now, that laptop with the M1 chip, I believe it came out last year, and the M1 chip was, of course, that next step in technology. But right now, if you go to purchase that MacBook Air with the M1 chip that came out in 2020, it will cost you $999, which is not bad for an Apple product. So the MacBook Air M2 chip that I'm planning to get is starting at $1,200, and it's definitely going to be a huge upgrade. The camera that comes with it is a 1080p. And they have 4 different colors that you can choose from, and I'm going to be choosing one that's called Starlight. So, and then just to let you guys know, the MacBook Pro 13-inch, that one is starting at, it looks like is 13. No, actually, let me see what the price was. Okay, so that one is $12.99, so $1,300. So you can see that the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro, there's always a price difference where the Pro, costs a little more. Now, one of the things that I really don't like about laptops in the MacBook series that are coming out is that it doesn't have your typical USB, plugs that you can input, and because this 2015 that I have actually has one USB on this side, and on this side it has one USB input, and it also has a HDMI input. HDMI, very important. And you can also put in the very thin memory cards in it. So I'm so used to having these peripherals that you can plug in. As the years have gone by, I'm not sure what year it started. They've started taking out because definitely the one from this year and the previous one in 2020, they do not have any USB inputs, so that kind of sucks. Definitely no HDMI input or memory card slot. So that kind of like takes away from the enjoyment, because there's still so many things that are being utilized with USB, and I use USB, items to plug in, like the camera that I have, my wireless mouse, the receiver. I plug it into the USB port and so forth. But other than that, let's see. So what I'm looking at here with this new M2 chip has a 8-core CPU, 8 gigabytes of memory. Let's see, the amount of space that I have is two. No, that's the midnight one. Okay, well, it has like about 256 gigs of storage. It has a 13.6-inch screen. I mentioned before a 1080p webcam built into it, and 2 Thunderbolt USB ports. And again, that's taken away. It's not actual USB, the ones that we're used to, but it's a different type of port. But yeah, I'm very excited to upgrade my system. So if you're ever looking for a laptop that is that's something that's going to last you a long time and that is dependable, I would tell you, go ahead and do your research on the MacBook Pros and the MacBook Air. Again, I think for most people, you will be satisfied and you will be fine with the entry level of the MacBooks, which is the MacBook Air. And it's very thin, it's very light, it's not heavy at all, but you are going to have a powerful machine to do a lot of the basic things, which is surfing the internet, checking emails. If you do a little bit of editing, you can do some editing. You can video editing, you can do picture editing, and yeah, so that would be my recommendation if you're looking for a better laptop. Now, yes, it costs a little more, but you pay for quality. So, where a regular PC, I've seen that it has lasted me a few years. My MacBook Pros that I've had, my experience has been that it's been a good 5 years or plus. And like I mentioned before, the one I'm using right now that you guys are seeing, I've had since 2015, so it's been about 7 years. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown of what I'm going through here with learning about and seeing what is out there with the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro. And again, do your own research, check it out. And if you find anything interesting or want to leave a comment, you're also a user and enjoy MacBooks, leave a comment down there. All right, so click on like, subscribe. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the season 2, episode 32 of the CREW After Hours with Bogy, who is about to say, "Nuff said."